Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Yes, welcome. It is the Kim Jacobs Show, and I am super thrilled to have Marquita Finley with us today. How are you, Marquita?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing great. Now, where are you located?
I am located in the 918 Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of Black Wall Street.
Get out of here. I did not know
ma'am.
that. How do you like being
ma'am.
in that area?
I love it.
Okay.
You know, I am Texas born, but Oklahoma raised. So
Okay.
I definitely love it. Yes.
Awesome. So you think that's where you're going to stay, like kind of for the duration of life, or are you open-minded to going other places?
You know, I don't know about the duration of life, but I will say I absolutely love Tulsa. I'm a Tulsa girl. My family and I have been up here for about 30 years. I'm actually an Okie from Muskogee. So, you know,
amazing.
Right. So I'm just a good old country girl that loves people and feel really blessed to be in this city because we're so generous. So, yeah, I really love Tulsa, but I'm definitely open.
Okay. Well, I am so honored to have you. I'm in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and this whole virtual show world is pretty interesting because you don't really know where everyone's connecting from. But I am so happy to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show today. And listen, everybody, today we're going to be talking with Marquita Finley about business grants and how you can go about getting a business grant, what the ins and outs are, where to start, some step-by-step guides, and all of that stuff. We're going to be talking about it. So we don't want to miss a moment. What I do want you all to do is grab your virtual seats and let us know where you're visiting in from today as well. And I'll put any questions, comments, and thoughts that you have up on the screen. You'll get a chance to ask your questions directly of Marquita. So let me put this link. Just from a housekeeping perspective, you know, you can click on this link here and it'll bring you into the broadcast. That's important to know. So if you have a question and you're like, I don't like all of this typing and typing it on the comments and stuff, I'd rather talk face to face, click on that link. It'll bring you in and you'll get a chance to ask your question directly of our guest, Marquita Finley. All right. Are you ready for this, Marquita?
I'm ready.
All right. So listen, I want everybody to grab your seats and go ahead and share this broadcast. Share the broadcast with your friends, family, coworkers, and don't deprive people that you know in ministry and different places of the opportunity to learn about our guest today. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds because if I play a commercial, I don't want you to miss the commercial. If I play, you know, so it's like so many different catch-22s, right, Marquita?
Yes.
So I'm going to just do 30 seconds. Everybody share the broadcast, tag some people, and then we'll go from there. Do that now. Everybody, there you have it. I hope that you've tagged your friends and family and ministry leaders and people to be a part of today's discussion. I really don't want anyone to miss this great information. So what we're going to do right after this commercial break, I'd like for you, Marquita, to just tell us about your backstory. So we'll learn more about you and then we'll go into the grant learning process. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right. Right after this commercial break, everyone, we're going to go and deep dive into the backstory of this Tulsa, Oklahoma young lady that's here from Texas by way of Texas.
Yes,
But we're
sir.
going to learn more about her backstory right after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, and we are back with Marquita Finley. Talk to us, Marquita. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm just a good old country girl from Oklahoma, but more than that, I am president and CEO and co-founder of Extraordinary Business Consulting, LLC. My husband and I started XBC so that we could really bless people that we know that are leaders, that are boots on the ground, that do great work, but needed cost-effective and affordable industry and best practice tools to be able to advance their mission and grow to scale. So really, that's my heart. That's my passion. That is the passion behind everything we do, is to help people grow their business. So whether it's a for-profit or a nonprofit, we love to come alongside people and make sure that they are being sustainable and that they're growing. Because what I know is that behind every mission, behind every funding dollar, behind every number, there is a person. So we feel like we're helping people do transformative work in the spaces, because every product and service from a for-profit and every nonprofit that is out there doing cause work, we know that they're helping to change someone's life. So I love that business. That gives me fulfillment at the end of the day. So we love to come alongside people and do that. So that's part of the backstory. The other part of this backstory is, me having spent 20 plus years and 10 in the nonprofit space, and then the other in the not-for-profit space as an executive director, a president and CEO, chief operations officer, and director of development in the nonprofit space. And so I was that person that I'm helping. I was that leader that I'm helping, the leaders that we get to coach, and I get to walk them through and share my good, my bad, my ugly, and then pray for them not to make the same mistakes or to position themselves in a different place so they can learn from me. And then it speeds up their process so they can continue to do good. So, it's my passion, really. It's my husband's passion, again, that we come alongside leaders and give them the tools that we need. We see a lot of leaders in the space, especially a lot of our BIPOC leaders, and they are doing such tremendous work. They just need people that will come alongside them with the extra tools that they need to be even more successful. So we feel like that's our assignment, and that's why we're in the space, and we absolutely love it. I mean, it's not like work, like this is the joy of my heart. This is purpose, and this is my assignment.
This is so good. When you know that it's your purpose and your assignment, it makes all the difference in the world, Marquita, doesn't it?
It makes all the difference in the world. Yes, it does.
Interesting.
Being in position and being in purpose, it is so freeing because, I kind of fought my purpose. And sometimes I think, well, God had to push me. Some people say they, just kind of walked into it, but I feel like I got pushed into it because sometimes you'll let fear stop you from that dream. I'd wanted to start a business for 20 plus years and had even had the name Extraordinary Business 20 plus years ago. And then when we came back around, the name was still available. So I guess it was just God waiting on me. And I am so grateful This space, it has just again been a joy because I'm doing something that I love.
That's good. That is
Yes.
so good. Listen, everybody, we are talking. I'm actually trying something new today. So y'all can chime in because I think it's always important with the virtual studio audience to give input. So if you like
Yes.
this that I'm getting ready to do, let me know. Give a thumbs up. Say, yes, Kim, that's good, girl. That's nice. That's some good vibe, right?
It's
If you
nice.
don't like it, say, Kim, ditch that. And I will do exactly what my virtual studio audience is saying. So I am going to just play some it's just a little bit of background music as we're talking. Is that good? Just to see how it flows,
Awesome.
okay? I don't want to go too fast. Let's see. How that sound? Can you hear it?
Yeah,
All it is just some music. Just
it's nice.
so while we're just having our conversation, I'm sitting over there on the sofa with you, or girl, you got your red chair too, or blue, you got your teal green chair. We're just having a conversation today. And so not anything that's overbearing. If it's too loud, we can turn it down. But I think it just gives a little bit of
I like it.
hey.
That's a nice vibe.
So anyway,
Mhm.
Marquita, listen, when you find that passion, you say it's so freeing. And when you and your husband kind of got lockstep together on one accord about it being this, what did that look like for you all?
You know, it looked like a lot of faith.
Yeah.
It looked like really just being at peace with our decision and really locking in and making the commitment to put everything that we have into this work. And not so much that we're not taking care of ourselves, but enough that we are just committed to this. We know that a lot of businesses, they don't remain open after the first, second, and third year.
Yes.
That is not what we're in this for. We are in this for longevity. We are in this for legacy. So all of our planning right now, I mean, we are just determined that we are going to be in this for the long haul. So really that's what that looked like. When we made the decision, it was so that we could, beat that three-year marker and just keep going.
And that's all.
That's right, because us being here means that we get to serve a lot more people for a lot longer time. So that is what we've been aiming towards.
Wow. Well, I can see this being for the long haul, especially since your company was still there. The name, the domain, everything that was meant for you, extraconsulting.com with the X. For those that are podcast listeners, it's xtraconsulting.com. You don't want to miss the opportunity to connect with Marquita and her husband as they are building a legacy by being able to show you how to get these grants. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition in the rest of the show. I wanted to hear your backstory and, say, oh, come on, tell us about yourself. But I'm like, okay, now at this point, it's time to go all the way in.
All right.
Anybody that's ready to hear about some business grants, hashtag business grants. Hashtag business grants. And let's figure this thing out. Right after this commercial break, we're going to let our expert here today just take it away and tell us everything she can pour into us in this time frame. Okay. So we'll be right back after this commercial break, and let's see what the Lord is going to share with you to minister to all of us today. All right. We'll be right back.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, we're talking today with Marquita Finley, and she is founder, owner of extraconsulting.com. Let me put that up there again. Extra because it is extraordinary, but it's extraconsulting.com. XTRA consulting.com. All right, talk to us and tell us any tips that you have for people. If you want me to, I can host and I can ask direct questions. So let me host, because I'm about to start. Girl, I got a whole notebook like this. Look, this is what I'm talking about.
Come on. You know I got mine too. Come on.
I got a whole big blank pad, so I'm not just telling y'all to do something I'm not willing to do. I'm going to take some notes here. So I'm going to lean back a little bit because I'm going to be taking notes. But the thing is, as we start this discussion, where do you recommend that people start that are interested in even pursuing business funding?
Yeah. So let me start off by saying there are a lot of different forms of business funding. So I want to go down the list real quick, because I want you to know that grants is just one little bitty piece actually of business funding. So there's self-funding, which is what a lot of us typically do when we're starting out initially. There's crowdfunding, and that crowdfunding is like a GoFundMe. And businesses can do crowdfunding. That is really on trend right now. For more and more businesses to access capital, they're going to crowdfunding spaces. And the one tip that I want to give you about crowdfunding is a lot of your business grants right now, there are some of them that require you to crowdfund because they want to know that you've got skin in the game, that you're asking your family and your friends, your colleagues, and you're asking the public to invest in your business. So crowdfunding is one to keep your pulse on. And then there's grants, of course, which we're going to dive into more today. There's SBA, which is the Small Business Association with loans, or administration with loans. There's bank loans, factor loans, angel rounds, seed money, Series A, Series B through D, IPO, and exit. So there's more than just one way to fund your business.
Series A?
Series A,
okay.
Series B through D, IPO, and exit. Now, if you ask me about those, Kim, I'm going to have to give you a site to go to. Because my specialty...
All I'm doing is typing it. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you anything you're revealing today.
Okay, my specialty is in the area of grants. But I want the listeners to know that there's a long list of funding out there for businesses. And some things that on this list, I don't think we really think about. So going back to grants, because that's what we're here to talk about today. The one thing I do want to say, even before we get into some of the tips and even some of the places that you can start to go to look for grants, the one thing to keep in mind is I get a lot of people that say, Marquita, help me get a grant, help me get some free money. Mm-hmm. And I say, hold up. A grant is something you don't have to pay back, but do shift your mindset about it. That grant is an investment into your company, into your mission, into your project. If a funder were to ever see that you did not do what you were supposed to have done with it, they can ask for that money back. Now, it does not have to be repaid. So once you meet all the conditions, it is yours. It's nothing you have to repay like a loan. But I want to keep you in the mindset that it's an investment. And so make sure that when you go after that grant, that you have the mindset that it's an investment from that funder. And so there's going to be some conditions that they're going to want you to do. That means one of the conditions may be they want your time and your effort to attend an incubator or an accelerator or get mentored.
What is an incubator and what is an accelerator? Because people that are watching may not all know that.
So incubators and accelerators are places where business owners are going to go if they get accepted into these particular programs, and you're either going to get mentorship, or you're going to get resources, or you're going to get office space at a discounted rate or sometimes for free. Accelerators are meant to help you accelerate your business plan and or accelerate your business. A lot of times there are applications that are involved with accelerators. You do have to apply. Some accelerators are free and some accelerators are at cost. And some accelerators only cost you your time. So to give you an example, real life example, my husband and I decided that we wanted to be part of what is the Nest Collective here in Tulsa. It is an accelerator and they have cohorts and they take applications, and they interviewed us for their accelerator. And the purpose of that accelerator was that at the end of 7 weeks, that we attended a session 1 hour each week, and we had homework. So at the end of that session, we graduated and we finalized our business plan. So accelerators are wonderful if you have just not had time to complete your business plan, or you want to enhance your business plan and you want to learn more about business. You want to learn more about tax structure, your infrastructure, your operating agreement, legalities around being in business. Accelerators are great for that. And so are incubators, because sometimes they will offer some of the same resources. So this is a great resource for you. The other thing about being in an accelerator right now, or being in some pitch competitions, because I'm going to throw that in here now too, and I'm going to explain it in just a minute. But sometimes there's money associated at the end that you can compete for at the end of these accelerators and pitch competitions. So it's something that you don't want to overlook in this season, because right now, incubators, accelerators, and pitch competitions are great ways to funding, and not just loans anymore. It used to be that these were great resources for you to, once you ended, it was just about getting a loan. Well, not anymore. People are recognizing that people need startup funds and they need seed money in order to build capacity and grow. So right now, the climate is wonderful for taking a look at the incubator, the pitch competition, as well as the accelerators for funding. And I'm going to stop here, Kim, and let you ask me questions.
If you first of all see me looking around, it's because I also have children too, and one's coming back from a quick doctor's appointment, and so I was going like this, like I see, because again, I'm balancing my life too as a mom and woman that wear a lot of different hats. This is really good information, everybody. As you all are hearing today's broadcast, what I want you to do is share the broadcast, first of all, with your friends, family, coworkers. But I do see some of your comments coming in. So I am going to take a moment, Marquita, if you don't mind, and go to the studio audience questions, give you a chance to answer some of those too. Is that okay?
Awesome.
Okay, and we'll do that throughout the broadcast, everybody. And if you're watching this and it's like in a situation where it's already aired, just go ahead and send your questions. Where do you want them to send their questions to? So
they can send their questions to mfinley@extraconsulting.com.
mfinley@extraconsulting.com. So mfinley@extraconsulting.com. If you're watching this across all of because the Kim Jacobs Show airs across so many different platforms. And so if you're watching it, and this is where you email, mfinley@extraconsulting.com. There you go. There you go. All right, let's go with some of the questions. Tiffany said, do you need a grant writer to apply for these grants and increase your chances of being selected?
Oh, Tiffany, that is such a great question. I tell some of my clients that hire me for the grant writing for their business grants, I actually prepare them so they only need to hire me once. And I say that because once we do a narrative, and once we kind of, pull everything that you need and answer all the questions, most of the business grant questions across the board, and I have applied for many for my own company, they're
Right.
the same questions. So if you were to hire a grant writer, I would recommend, now I know grant writers are probably going to be mad at me, but I'm giving you a pro tip.
You're here as you're here representing
right.
what you represent today, and your
That's
own
right.
views. The views that Marquita is sharing, those are her own personal views, and
That's
those of her
right.
company. It doesn't always reflect that of the show or other guests and stuff like that.
That's
Go ahead.
right. That's right. And so to be cost effective, I recommend that you ask a grant writer, if you decide to hire one, Tiffany, ask them to write up a master narrative for you so that you can then, if you choose, if you have time, and if you want to save on cost, that you can go in and copy and paste that information into other grants that are forth. But you do not need a grant writer. I will say that, and I am a grant writer, but you do not need a grant writer to complete the business grant applications. What you do need is just faith, be fearless, and just be authentic and go in and answer. Now, if you struggle with, grammar, or if you struggle with something like that, then yes, definitely get you a grant writer. But if you're a decent writer, and you can answer questions and you have a complete business plan, answering those grant questions for business grants will not be difficult. So what I'm going to say to you is your chances of being selected will be just as good if you do it yourself as if you have a grant writer do it. But if you feel like you need a grant writer, please go ahead and hire one.
That is such a great answer. So everybody, take heed to what's being shared. She's saying you don't have to have a grant writer, especially if you already have some writing skills and you're savvy, and you can definitely get through it without a bunch of grammatical errors and different things like that. Then take a stab at it yourself. But Tiffany and Nicole says, yeah, I need you. This is an answered prayer. Wow, thank you. Then Tiffany, you hit the nail on the head. You're like, girl, bye. I want you. That's what she's saying.
Come on, contact me. That's what we're here for.
That's good. Make sure you contact her, Tiffany, and everyone else that's watching as well. M. Finley at extraconsulting.com, and it's X, because I have a lot of podcast listeners.
Yes.
XCRA consulting.com. And I see you tagging people. Tracy, thank you so much. This is all about sharing it with everyone. Don't keep this a secret. Don't keep this information a secret. Let other people be a part of it. Sometimes you can even participate in a pitch competition at the end of the accelerator events, according to Marquita. So all I'm doing is taking these notes so you can go back and look at them later. Type your questions. Make sure you get them answered by her today, right while we're here. If you're in a part of an incubation, she broke down the definition of the incubator versus the accelerators. And here shoot, girl, I done became your agent over here. I'm over here typing like, I'm typing fast, my arm all crooked. So
Thank you so much.
I'll do my best over here. Y'all, make sure you reach out to our sponsors that take the time to ensure that our program are able to come to you all live. Attorney Charles Everidge, if you've ever been denied a claim of any sort with disability, or you're dealing with injury and disability, give them a call and let them know that I sent you over there. 704-377-9157, and you can ask them which locations that they will be able to serve you in. All right. Okay. So I see my cousin Veronica, and I see Nancy, and all of you all. My mother Julia Harper is on too, and she's in her 80s. She said this is very interesting. Very interesting. And Tiffany said, yes, I'm listening. Great tips. Thank you so much for sharing, LaShandra said. And I see all of you all right after this commercial break. Let me chime in too on this from the grant perspective. I know when we did our first grant as a nonprofit organization, 501c3 status was extremely important. And all of our 501c3s, I used a lady named Dr. Roberta Jones, and she did an outstanding job of helping us set up all of our 501c3s appropriately. But when we applied for our first grant funding, my friend Sean Hall, I don't know, many of you all know about my bestie Sean. She wrote our first grant, and and first of all, she pulled like 2 all-nighters, kept taking some kind of caffeine or so. She was doing something to make sure we stay. I'd never seen anything like it ever in my whole life. But we were able to get $1.9 million in grant funding from her effort of writing that. So Tiffany, yes, I do agree that if you don't know what you're doing, let somebody that knows what they're doing. Like in my case, it was Sean Hall. And once she did it the first time, we were able to, from there, take that template and start figuring out how to recraft and reshape the wording to be able to get more funding with similar wording that she had already did initially. So use Marquita Finley in this case, since that's who we're talking about today. Get connected with her and don't just go at it alone, okay? Even though she's being modest, y'all. Great tips. Thank you for sharing, LaShonda said. Okay. Right after this commercial break, maybe what we can talk about is, because you said a lot. You said the incubation, you said SBA funding. People don't just get this stuff though. So when we come back, what I would like to know is, it's easier said than done. So that's the prompt. That's the prompt. That's the prompt. It's easier said than done. And when we come back, you take it from there, whatever direction you want. It's easier said than done. Anybody agree with me? Say, Kim, thank you, because that's just easier said than done. We'll be right back.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right. It's easier said than done, Marquita.
Easier said than done, yes. And that is why grant writers live to do what we do, so that we can assist you. But what I do tell people is, if you feel like you need to, if you can't afford a grant writer, then there are places that you can go to learn to write grants.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The SBA, your local SBA chapter, they will have your state chapter. They will have a ton of resources that also can talk to you about how to write a grant. So I would encourage you to go about getting that type of technical assistance, getting some tutorials. There are webinars on how to write grants, and you can even come to me for how to write a grant. I do help people and walk you through that process as well, if you choose to do it on your own. So there's a lot of tips that you can pick up. And a lot of people do feel intimidated by the process. But the process, once you get into it, you'll realize there are some things that you can find that may be easier, that you can actually do on your own. You know, sometimes it's just getting familiar with the process. So if you were to ever want to do that on your own, you definitely could. Because yes, sometimes there are some grants. I'm going to tell you, federal grants, RFPs, that might be easier said than done. But there are some simple applications out there that you can go and do on your own and learn how to do as well. And I know a lot of business owners that are self-taught. Yes. And so if that's the way that you want to go, then I encourage you to do that. And not only that, but it's nothing wrong with being self-taught and still hiring a grant writer. You know, it's just good sometimes to have that information for yourself as a business owner as well.
I agree. Now that, I think, it says a mouthful right there. It's okay. Just because you know how to do something, I know how to do weave. I know how to do nails. I know how to do a lot of things. You should. You know, I mean, I know how to do a bunch of stuff because I grew up in the projects. And at the end of the day, if I wanted to have some of those things that were maybe afforded to other people, I could not get them financially. So I had to learn how to do them. And I also learned how to do them to help friends so I can earn some little extra money here or there. So
Yes.
I know how to work in retail in the shoe department. I know how to do a lot of things, but just because
Yes.
I know how to write grants. I 100% know how to write grants that can get funded. Just because you know how to do something does not mean that that's your thing that you should be doing.
Yes.
So turn it over to the expert. And in this case, Marquita Finley is the expert that we're talking with today. So don't just go at everything. This is the woman right here trying to be modest. Go on. Like my grandma said, go on then. Go on, figure it out. You'll be like, what? So I love the advice that you're sharing today, but I also like the fact that you're circling back where people can reach out to you directly if they want to learn more. But your local SBA chapter, you can learn about grant writing there. They do offer like classes and different things, and go at it if that's what you like. Okay, so what is the first step that you recommend for someone that is a founder of a nonprofit organization or a business owner? Because they're two different things.
They are.
Tell us from the founder of a nonprofit perspective, and then first step for a business owner. What do you recommend for them when they're in the process of seeking grant funding?
Yeah, if you're a business owner, definitely having a business plan.
Okay.
That business plan will answer so many questions that you are asked in the grant application. So that would be number one.
Okay.
If you are a nonprofit founder, I'm going to tell you something similar, because you also now in this day want to have a business plan, and you need to have a strategy.
Do they write the business plan themselves, or do you recommend, like when you say business plan, I think of a formal business plan. I had a young lady that's what she does. And she submitted everything to her, and then she put it in a formal plan, and it's like over 50 something pages, and it's bound and it's professional. That's what I think of when I think of business plan. What are you saying when you say business plan?
I'm saying the same thing.
Okay.
So this is somewhere where I would recommend, if you struggle with this, again, either get in an accelerator so they can assist you and break it down for you and give you templates that can help you. Find a template or hire someone. This is where I would recommend you hire someone to put it together for you, because you're going to need to do market research. You're going to need to do data and analysis. So there's quite a few pieces to the business plan. And you're right, it is a lengthy document. There's going to be financial projections. So this is a document where I would recommend some help. Even I got help for this. I did not do it on my own or alone, even though that's what we help people do. So I would recommend that. But in this time right now, everyone is also looking at nonprofits as businesses, which is exactly what they are. So a lot of people are coming to the table now with business plans for their nonprofit. So I would say that would be one thing that I would encourage you to do, especially since it's so on trend. But then it also helps you to craft your vision and your strategy, where you want to be, to look at projections. So you're going to be very entrepreneurial and business minded as well.
Right.
Yes, with your nonprofit. The other thing that I see when I'm working with nonprofits right now that I would tell you to do to get grant ready is please plan and take the time on the front end, if you are able, to get your infrastructure solid. That means have your 501c3, have your determination letter in place, have your board and your board documents in place, have your program and project and organizational budgets in place. I work with several nonprofits, and these are all of the things that I see missing. And they come to me and they want to get a grant. Well, because they got their 501c3 and it's like, now I should be grant ready. No, there's so much more to being grant ready and being a strong competitor than just having your 501c3 paperwork. So we take folks through a nonprofit audit. And
Okay.
in that audit, we help them to see where their gaps are. And then we give them industry best practices and tools so that they can start to put infrastructure together. One thing, Kim, that I don't think some people know is if you're going after a major funder, there are some major funders that will not fund you until you are 3 years old and demonstrating and proving that you're sustainable and profitable and that you've got program outcomes and measurements. So you don't want to just take a deep dive. You definitely want to research foundations when you're moving forward. So now what we're starting to tell folks as grant writers that if you are a nonprofit and you're just starting out, we don't steer you to grants so quickly.
Okay.
And what we steer you to is crowdfunding. What we steer you to is fundraising campaigns. And we steer you to going to corporations for sponsorship to begin to build up some funds that you can leverage so that you can then go apply for grants and be grant ready and know that you've got a strong application.
Okay.
Now, I want to say this one thing. There are, and this is no shade to any of my grant writing pros out there, but there are grant writers that when you hire them, they feel like their job is just to write a grant. If you task them with that, then they're just going to write the grant for you. Please find a grant writer that's also going to push back on you and give you advice. That they don't just take your coins, write the grant for you, knowing that you're not ready. Find a grant writer that you can trust that's going to say, okay, you want to apply for this grant, but here are some things that maybe we need to consider before you apply. So maybe the first thing we need to do really is not write the grant. We need to go talk to the program foundation officer to tell them that you're interested. Not that we should rush into the grant. Now, if the program officer says go for it, then we should. But that is one tip, and that's our heart at XBC, that we want to see you successful. So we're not just always going to write the grant if we know you're not ready. Now, if I have a client that says, well, just, do what I'm asking because I'm paying you the coins.
Right.
Sometimes we'll do that, but I at least want to do that, giving you options and helping you understand how to navigate this particular funding world with success.
Okay. And so you're saying, and because I do like everything that I think I'm hearing you say, which is so critical, and I am going to go to some more studio audience questions as well. Let's see. What I'm understanding you to say is that if there is a newer 501c3 nonprofit organization, and yes, they're coming to you, they want funding, but you say, you know what, because I know that these different funding sources require you to be in operation for 3 years prior to you even being considered for funding. What we're going to do is we're going to take you down this path, which is crowdfunding, getting your business plan together, making sure your 501c3 and all of your infrastructure documents are in place. That's what I think I'm hearing you say, correct?
Yes, we're going to take you through some alternative things to build you up, and then we're going to go back that route. Yes.
Okay. Y'all, you see why you should be sharing this broadcast with everyone. Anybody in ministry and organizational leadership and nonprofit executive directors, anyone that you know in those capacities, share this broadcast with them, because Marquita Finley is here and she's obviously very humble, Tulsa, Oklahoma girl over here, and saying, hey, you don't always even have to hire me as a grant writer. I'll just teach you how to write the grants. Come on. Okay, guess what? You will not find a Marquita Finley in this world that often. So make sure that you take advantage of that. And what I'll do is I'll go to some of your studio audience. Yes, I see you, Sharon Chavis Robinson, Lady Robinson. Let me see. She said, I am listening. And she like, girl, got her glasses like, I am listening and watching. Remember, if you all want to come on screen and ask your questions, because some people prefer face-to-face communication, use this link that I just popped in and put that, copy and paste it in your browser, and it'll bring you right on screen. Let's see. Charles Harbison says, do you have anyone you recommend for writing a business plan?
Yes, myself. No.
Because you know what? The reason he's probably saying that is because you actually said earlier that you got help yourself from
Yes,
somebody
I
else.
did. We have two wonderful people on our team that write grants. So that is one place that I would start. Shameless plug for us there.
You're
But
not
I
shameless
would
anything.
say,
This whole hour is devoted to listen. Maybe I'm not being clear. Girl, you can go ahead. Look, like remember, we're having a conversation and everybody else is kind of like listening in, right? In the virtual
thank
studio
you.
audience.
Thank you.
Share your gifts and your talents on this
Yes.
broadcast.
We definitely can do that for you. We have a young lady that does a wonderful job. That's her heart and her passion is to do business plans. She's very cost effective, so I would recommend her. If you're looking for someone local, then I would find someone in your area. But I would ask them to show you the business plans that they've done and take a look at their portfolio before you move forward. Just a quick tip.
That's good. Okay, so definitely you can go local if you prefer, but if you want to reach out to Marquita Finley and her team, she'll connect you to someone on her team. M Finley at extra, the letter X, TRA consulting.com. I have podcast listeners too. So I want to make sure you know it's M Finley at extraconsulting.com. And their website is extraconsulting.com as well. And so I hope that answers your question, Charles. Let's see any other questions that came in. Great question, Charles. And again, I'm trying something new today. So if the background music is too overbearing, please let me know. If you like it like that, then say, Kim, I like it. All right. Let's see. LaShonda said, do you help people find? Okay. Do you help businesses find grants, or do they have to come to you with the grant opportunity that they want help with?
Yes, that's a great question, Lashandra. So we do help people find business grants. And Kim, if you don't mind, I'm going to give a few of those right now. Can we do that?
You can do, yes. Y'all, okay, you see what I'm talking about, y'all? Hold on. Right after the commercial break, because you know, you got to do that cliffhanger on the show. Mark, don't you dare give out a grant until I at least get some audience participation. Is there anybody in the studio audience that would like for her to give out some free grant information right now on the show? If so, what I need y'all to do is type, what should we type? Okay, you know what? Let's hashtag Marquita Finley, just so we can get her name trending today, okay? So if y'all want some free grants, free, not call her later and then she's gonna tell you when you get the consultation, all that. Here's the deal. Free grants. If you want some free grant information, hashtag Marquita Finley. That's the least we can do for the woman today is get her name trending. Marquita Finley. That's MARQUETTA Finley. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So when we come back after this commercial break, we'll see. I might just have you reach out to LaShondra directly because she don't right now between LaShondra.
Awesome.
So I might just let you tell her one-on-one. All right. All right, everybody. Right after this commercial break, we'll be right back with more from Marquita Finley talking to us today about business grant funding.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
All right, everybody, we are back. Today's episode is sponsored by GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616. And she does a great job of talking to you about final expense insurance and ways that you and your family can have money to be able to live beyond what's happening with your loved one that may need that coverage. Okay. So make sure that you reach out, and you definitely want to at least give her a call, because it's some great information that she shares that nobody just thinks of like that. All right, everybody. We are back with Marquita Finley. So Marquita, let's see what some of the studio audience members are saying here. Also, throughout today's broadcast, you'll see scrolling down ways that you can support the Kim Jacobs Show. For those that are podcast listeners, it's Kim Kim Jacobs Inc. PayPal is paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. And you can also become a Patreon member, which is patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. So support the broadcast, because this is the way that we come on Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only way we can keep the programming going is through support from community members like yourself. All right, so let's see. Did anybody else hashtag? You can go ahead and tell them. I'm going to let you go ahead and tell them. You know that. Go ahead and tell them.
Let's tell them. Okay, because this is the good stuff. So here are some places that I recommend you go. And I'm going to talk about business grants first. And then I'm actually going to give a place that you can go for nonprofit grants as well.
Okay.
So the first place, and this is a place that I absolutely love, and that is Mogul Millennial. MOGUL, and then the word millennial. Google them and look them up, but they have a whole database that is nationwide, that shows you business grants, pitch competitions, accelerators, and incubators that are available. This young lady the founder has done just a phenomenal job of centralizing this information. And not only that, but they have some incredible resources for business owners.
Well, before you go any further, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so before you go any further, I want to put that up there. It's mogulmillennial.com. And I am going to, because I just went there right while you were talking, and this is some good stuff here. Wait a minute.
They are amazing.
Let's go here right quick.
Amazing.
So this is crazy. So it gives you talk to us about this for a second, this site.
Yeah. So if you go to startup funding, I think they have you sign up. But if you go to startup funding, you can actually sign up for their weekly notifications. They will send you notifications, I believe, on a weekly basis of what business grants are out there. And so I would really recommend that you go here, complete the information, but now you're at the database. So as you can see, check out our current opportunities. Wow. All of those are business grants or pitch competitions. They'll show the particular area or region or city. Phenomenal. So I really recommend that you utilize Mogul Millennial.
Okay, well, while she's recommending that, which I did share it, I do want to take a moment to not only share Mogul Millennial, which is a free resource that she's sharing with you out of the kindness of her heart. I do want to take you directly to extraconsulting.com, because anything that you do need to know outside of just what she's sharing with you here, they have a very beautiful website, Extraordinary Business Consulting LLC, and about them and their clients and registration prices, which are phenomenally low. There's an event coming up called Fund Your Biz, all about business grants and accelerators, on Thursday, February 17th. You don't want to miss the opportunity to go and attend that and register for like $27, y'all. Come on, $27.
You'll get even more information.
Yes. So it's lots of information right here on extraconsulting.com, and you can learn all about the different services that they offer. Okay, what's the second one?
All right. The second one is I Fund for Women. I Fund for Women is another one. So, of course,
Charles said he had to run, but he said, great conversation. I need that business plan. So he put his email for you, Charlie Harbison at Gmail. He's like, please reach out to me, okay?
Thank you. We will. Thank you so much.
And then Sharon said, can you repeat one more time, please? But Sharon, it's right here. It's mogulmillennial.com is that free resource. So copy that. Okay. Okay, go to the next one.
The next one is I Fund for Women. So if you are a female founder, I really recommend this one. Again, it's another one that has just a lot of phenomenal resources and a lot of free resources. So it's I Fund for Women or I Fund Women, I believe, maybe .com if you can find it.
Yeah, it's ifundwomen.com.
Yes.
And let's go to that one too. Okay, start your journey, get funding, coaches. Okay, yeah, good gracious.
Another just awesome.
Okay, let's go real quick. I'm trying to make sure I show you all these, so when you do go over to them, it won't be like, where was it? I didn't see it. Okay, here it is. And it's a great resource that she's sharing with you. I Fund Women.
Yes, just phenomenal. And what I recommend when you go here is to complete their universal application. They have a universal application on this website that you'll find.
Okay.
So you might have to go in, dig around a little bit. Maybe it's under Get Funding.
Okay.
But go in, and because once you complete that universal application, it puts you in the pool for any and everything. They'll start to send you notifications of, particular grants that match your application.
Okay.
And or they just end up putting you in that pool where you have the match. So again, phenomenal free resource.
Okay, that is a very phenomenal. Now, do you have to have like a personal guarantor situation when you're getting these funding opportunities, or is it standalone on the business?
I've seen it where it's standalone on the business. So they're looking at your business financials, they're looking at, your profitability and some other things, but it is usually based on the business. And definitely, Kim, you bring up a good thing. Make sure you read the guidelines, or find you a good grant writer that can comb through some of those guidelines. that stuff that's always in
John M. Finley at Extra Consulting.
That's right. Or yes, come to us. Most definitely.
This is good. Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of any other questions you all have. I think I saw a question earlier, but there's so many comments that's come in. I don't want to overlook it, but maybe after the broadcast too, if you would please go back and just look at some of the different platforms. Tiffany said, amen. Thank you so much. This is interesting. Mother Harper said, listening, great tips. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip one of your questions. Do you help people? We already answered that. Okay. I see people that's just chiming in. So hopefully, if you didn't get your question answered, repost it again, and I will definitely try to answer it right. Get it answered. Okay.
All right. I've got another one for you.
Yes.
This one is Hello Alice. HelloAlice.com. Another phenomenal place that you should sign up for to get business grant alerts. And there is one right now that's in play, and it's called the Boss Network and Sage's Invest in Progress grant. I believe it's $10,000. And so I would really encourage you to go to Hello Alice and sign up, because again, it's another phenomenal platform for business grants.
Okay. Now, does your company actually offer funding itself, or you're just connecting people to the resources to get the funding?
We connect people to the resources to get funding.
Okay. So at extraconsulting.com, they connect you to the actual resources to get the funding. I'm going to put their information again. Anything else while I'm putting this information that you want to share, go ahead and share it.
No, it's just there's so many other free things out there, but I'll stop there because I also told you I'd give you one for the nonprofit space.
Okay. Those are for the business consulting spaces that she just shared. HelloAlice.com. HelloAlice.com. There are 2 business grant opportunities available right now. The Boss Network and what did you say, Sage?
The
Okay.
Boss Network and Sage's Invest in Progress grant is what it's called, for $10,000.
For $10,000. So
that.
all of you business owners, from a business owner perspective, for profit, then go there for that. ifundwomen.com and complete the universal application. These are all great free websites that this woman is sharing with you. Free, without you having to even come and get a consultation. mogulmillennial.com is another one.
Amazing.
Now tell us the nonprofit one.
The nonprofit one that I would recommend is Grant Watch. You can sign up for them and get some free information to come your way. It's a little bit limited, but that's a good place to start. Or I recommend a Google search and do an advanced Google search and put in your parameters. So if you serve youth, or if you serve folks with mental health issues, you can start to put those parameters, put your geographic location, and then let things start to pop up from different foundations.
Is this correct here?
Yep,
Okay.
that is correct.
Just so you know, I'm a big visual person, so if somebody tells me something I can't see it, it throws me off. Because then you get hemmed up in a scam, and you're like, I thought it was Grant Watch, but it's grantwatch.com. We're gonna put it here in the actual link for you to be able to, in the broadcast, for you to be able to go to it. Okay?
Yes, most definitely. And so, that's what I have today. I hope that's
you gotta come back.
That I will.
Today we're gonna have you coming back.
I would love that. We didn't even touch on all the other stuff that's out there and available.
Oh my gosh. And then okay, so we want you, I can tell you in advance, we want you to be one of our experts. We have this thing called Freestyle Fridays, where we bring in experts on Fridays. That's a part of the Kim Jacobs Show expert team, and they share tips, like 5 to 7 minutes worth of tips. So would you please be one of our experts?
Yes, I would be honored.
We would be honored. What are you talking about? Come on. So, okay, yes, I agree with you. Such a blessing. Great stuff. LaShondra said that was great. Thanks, Marquita, for sharing. Thank you, Kim Jacobs, for having such a great guest. And I am honored. I will tell you, here's the grantwatch.com. Was there any other one, or that's it for today?
That's it for today. But if I come back, I'll share some more.
I cannot wait for you to come back. This was absolutely incredible. I will share one other resource that I found out about too. And it's if you're looking for some funding for your company, this is actually a company that works alongside with me. I don't own the company or anything. I refer to this company, and they do funding for the KimJacobsConsulting.com when you're starting your own show. But they have it where you can get business funding for your organization, for your company, and you can go and look out all of the details. And I put it here for you. It's link.funding-credit.com. It's a whole thing. So anyway, just go and go there. And if you're hearing it, just email me, Kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll send you that link. Kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. But there's funding credit available for personal business, whatever you need. Go check it out. All right. Is there anything closing comment, Marquita, that you wanted to say?
I just want to tell folks, go for it. If God's giving you a vision, then dive in, find some good people that can come alongside you and live out that dream.
Y'all go for it. Go for it. And go for it by reaching out to extraconsulting.com and specifically email Marquita Finley. I cannot believe this time went this fast. mfinley@extraconsulting.com. And remember, please pour into the Kim Jacobs Show. We get a chance to bring on guests like this. This is how we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. I'm not just saying it. We're doing it. We're bringing Marquita Finley here on the show. All right. So coming up for the rest of this week, I do want you all to know what to be in your seats for tomorrow. And the rest of this week, we have a mom of 8.
Oh.
He's going to be here tomorrow talking about homeschooling with ease. So please make sure that you're in your seat to hear Adrian Brown talk about how to homeschool and homeschool with ease. All of us need to know that, since some of us have been forced to be homeschool parents and in this pandemic. And then we're going to be talking about relationships, finding love in 2022. What works and what does not work. And y'all know Ken Canyon. He's raw, he's controversial, and he does face-off stuff here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So get ready for our relationship expert to take it in on Wednesday. All right. And so we'll tell you the rest throughout the rest of the week. I am excited to be able to have you all here today. I do want to highlight Pamela Howard, one of our Mother Dreamer members, and she is doing a special catering event, especially for this upcoming holiday. So take a moment and utilize her and her husband, Chef Dwayne's services, and you can reach out to them. My final episode sponsor for today is Lamb Funeral Home, and I do want you to know that with over 800,000 people transitioning from this earth just to COVID alone, we have to have a funeral home that has a caring atmosphere that wants to serve you. They're certified in all 50 states. Their phone number is 704-782-3011. And if you have any questions regarding being a veteran and what the benefits are, reach out to Mr. Terry Lamb and his staff, over 28 years of experience, at 704-782-3011. All right, that's today's episode. Marquita! Oh, I love that. I love it. You asked me about this chair. It goes back too, see?
I love it.
I have to be dramatic sometimes, like, oh. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wow, what a great show. Kim. Great show. Thank you, Mark. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.